He didn't even say it to her face. Just a text. I'm done. Too much drama. No warning. No explanation. She stared at the screen until the rain blurred the words. The apartment they shared? Already packed. His toothbrush gone. His cologne too. He left her with silence and a late period she hadn't told him about. He thought he walked away clean, but consequences always find their way home. Even if they wear diapers. The test lit up like a flare in the dark. Pregnant. One word. All-consuming. She sat on the cold floor, knees pulled to her chest. There was no one to call. No hand to hold. He was playing house with someone new, and she was carrying a future he didn't know existed. She could have begged. She didn't. She could have warned him. She wouldn't. Because some truths need time to ripen, and hers was almost full term. 9 months later, she sent the package. No return address. No note, just the facts. A baby photo, bright-eyed and undeniable. A paternity test. 99.7% match dotted, and a court summons with the words, "Child support hearing" in bold. She didn't want revenge, just recognition. He made a choice to walk away. Now the law would walk him right back. She sealed the envelope with steady hands and whispered, "Meet your son and your court date." He stared at the photo like it might vanish. A tiny face. His eyes. His mouth. The DNA test didn't lie. Neither did the court date. His girlfriend walked in and saw the papers. "Who is this?" she asked. He couldn't answer, because there were no excuses left. The silence stretched like a crack in glass. This wasn't drama anymore. This was real. Legal. Daughter. Living dyke. And it had his last name. She didn't cry anymore. Not over him. Her hands were full of bottles, burp cloths, and love. The baby cooed softly against her chest. He didn't know what he walked away from. Not just a relationship, a miracle. She whispered stories to her son each night. About strength. About truth. About leaving quietly and coming back loud. She didn't need him to show up. The courts would make sure he did. And her son would never wonder if he was wanted. He showed up early. Or maybe he just didn't sleep. Hair combed. Tea crooked. Face pale. The courthouse loomed like a reckoning. He wasn't used to being the one judged. Used to control. Used to walking away clean. But the system didn't care about his comfort. It cared about rights. About responsibilities. He took a deep breath, clutching the paperwork. There was no undoing this. Only owning it, or being crushed by it. She didn't come to beg. She came with proof in her arms. Every step through that courthouse echoed with clarity. No drama. No theatrics. Just truth. People stared. The baby's tiny fingers curled around hers. She didn't flinch. Didn't smile. She wasn't here for revenge. She was here for justice. Let the judge hear the facts. Let him see the face he walked away from. And let the consequences fall where they belonged. The courtroom was silent, tense, and electric. He wouldn't look at her. Couldn't. She looked straight ahead, chin high. Her lawyer laid out the timeline, the test, the abandonment. His lawyer tried to paint him as overwhelmed. But the facts didn't bend for feelings. The judge glanced at the baby, then at the man. "You are the father," he said flatly. No suspense, just confirmation, and a lifetime of responsibility to follow. By the time he stepped outside, the world knew. One photo, him holding court papers, face red, went viral in hours. He tried to hide behind sunglasses. Useless. Reporter shouted, "Any comment on your son?" He muttered something about privacy. But the internet doesn't forget deadbeat drama. Memes exploded. Drama-free dad became a hashtag. His new girlfriend? Gone before nightfall. His reputation? Torn like old paternity papers. And the worst part, he still hadn't held his son. It was official now. Full custody. Monthly support. Supervised visits only. She didn't celebrate. She just exhaled. The paperwork didn't erase the pain, but it protected her son. That was enough. Her lawyer asked, "You okay?" She nodded. "I'm done being quiet." This wasn't about punishing him anymore. It was about building boundaries and keeping them, because silence had cost her enough. Their first court-ordered meeting was awkward. He sat like a stranger, trying to remember someone else's life. She approached with the stroller, calm but firm. The baby looked up, curious, innocent. "You can say hi," she said, emotionless. He leaned forward slowly, unsure. "He looks like me," he whispered. She didn't reply. The resemblance said enough. There was no reunion here, only reality and rules. She stood by the crib, watching his tiny chest rise and fall. No drama, no noise, just peace. Motherhood didn't ask for perfection, just presence. She gave everything she had. The court dates, the headlines, the heartbreak. It all led here, to this quiet night. He would grow up loved, protected, enough. Not because of who his father was, but because of who she chose to become. A mother, a warrior, and no one's victim. She shared her story once, just once. A women's group asked her to speak. She almost said no. Then she remembered how alone she had felt. So she stood tall, mic in hand, and told the truth. Not for sympathy, for solidarity. "I didn't fall apart," she said. "I built from the bottom." Heads nodded. Tears welled. She wasn't the only one who'd been abandoned with a heartbeat inside her. Her words weren't perfect, but they were real. And real changes things. Time passed like turning pages in a book she never meant to write. Her son learned to walk, then to run. Every laugh felt like a victory. She watched from a bench, coffee in hand, heart full. He didn't ask about his father yet. When he did, she'd tell the truth. Carefully, clearly, kindly. He'd know he was born from chaos, but raised in peace. She gave him what she never had. Certainty. Not just of being wanted, but of being worth everything. She started writing late at night, after bedtime stories and dishes. Words poured out like a flood she'd held back too long. Her story wasn't just personal anymore. It was power. The first article went viral in days. Messages came from women across the world. "You told my story." She didn't expect to be a voice. She just stopped being silent. And in doing so, became someone she once needed. Someone fearless. Someone free. Someone who didn't wait to be saved. She chose herself. Years passed. Then, another court date. He sat alone in a hallway. Older, quieter. Faded. She arrived with their son. Taller now, confident. The boy didn't look his way, and she didn't stop walking. She taught her son strength and boundaries. He wasn't raised on resentment, but he wasn't raised on lies either. The man stood, then sat back down. The version of her he left? Long gone. This one? Unshakable. Their home wasn't perfect, but it was whole. Books, toys, laughter in the hallways. A wall of memories, photos of two people who saved each other. He wrapped his arms around her after school. "You're the best mom in the world," he said. She smiled, holding back tears. She had doubted so much, but never this. Love didn't need a full house to be full-hearted. They were enough. Always had been. And now, the world knew it too. She mailed the final court document at sunrise. No drama. No gloating. Just closure. She turned and walked home, lighter than she'd felt in years. The sun stretched long shadows behind her. There would be more battles, more days of doubt. But this was over. She had chosen truth over silence, strength over bitterness, and the future. It belonged to her and the boy beside her. No permission, no apology, just power, sealed, stamped, and delivered.